morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the geeks out there in Our Little Geekdom, and welcome to another episode of Our Little Geekdom. Yes.
Yep.
It is episode number 12. Yes.
Nice.
Episode number 12. And we have the one, the only, FredWolf Cosplay. You guys may know him as the awesome Predator at Comic-Con Africa, the first one.
Or Spawn.
And Spawn at I think that was the other Comic-Con Africa that you were at.
Indeed.
And then Thor at the other. That was Rage, weren't you? You were Thor at Rage.
It was just
Fat
Mauritius, yeah. It was just a thing I did in the lockdown last year.
So, yeah, you guys will know him as all of those characters. We just know him as FredWolf Cosplay, or Fred for short. Welcome, Fred. How are you doing?
Doing really great. How about you guys?
You know.
Good.
Same old, same old.
First of all, thanks for having me. It's a real pleasure. And I've been waiting for this since last year. I was like, hey, it was really cool. I was wondering, when are we going to do that again?
Sorry, it's been a while. We apologize for that. So Fred,
Almost
firstly, the first thing we have to do is, before we actually just get into talking crap like we normally do through the streams and or through the shows and all that stuff, what we actually have to do is we have to let you tell us just a little bit about yourself as a cosplayer.
All right. Things have changed a little bit since last time. So, let's go from the beginning. I began cosplaying in 2013. I was just a little fan and stuff, and really got into it around 2015 when I really started to get involved into the competitions a lot, started winning here and there and stuff. And now, like this year, I left my full-time job as a graphic designer to 100% focus on my cosplay career.
Yeah. Nice. And how's that going? I mean, are you starting to pick up quite well?
We had a really great start, actually. And I do a lot of things. I do commissions, I provide cosplayers and costumes for events and stuff. We do like movie premieres, avant premieres and stuff like that. And a lot of other things. We touch into multimedia things like videos and photos and stuff. It had a really great start. Actually, I had the company before I stopped my full-time job. And it was last year. It really worked well before and after the lockdown. Then this year I was like, if I really want to progress in it, to really bring it up, I won't be able to keep my job. I would have to leave my full-time job in order to focus on that. And that's when I did it, and so far it's good. I mean, we just got into a second lockdown. It had just ended a week ago, so now things are starting back.
That's cool. Etherwolf that you're talking about.
Yes,
the one that
Etherwolf.
You started with Akasha.
Indeed.
See who's checking up on you.
Yeah, no, she's quite good at the Facebook and all other stalking things. She knows how to
stalk.
research our guests before we actually meet them.
I wouldn't call that stalking because I put everything online about how
Exactly, it's not really stalking.
Yeah, it's a fun to see.
It's just paying attention.
Yeah,
indeed.
That's said every stalker ever. Anyway, so now your Spawn. I mean, when you said that you were doing Spawn for Comic-Con Africa the second time you came around. Now, this is bearing in mind, you guys, the first time we actually ever met Fred was actually at the first Comic-Con, and he had the most epic Predator you will ever see. It was like the ultimate Predator. There's no better Predator character than I'd seen other than his. It was great. We were all like,
when you watch the video, you'll see it on the screen, because I've actually taken your, I think it's your Scorpion cosplay, your Spawn, your Predator, and Craven are the photos that are showing on the video.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're like punting your epic designs.
And the epic photo editing.
And the epic photo editing as well. Because that's something else we've noticed. You're doing photo editing now as well, which is quite cool. So now we're going to start from the beginning though, before we go all the way into your photo editing and whatnot.
Okay.
Your idea for Spawn. I mean, that must have been way out of your comfort zone to have to design something like that, especially with the rotating chain gun that you actually managed to build. That has to be so out of your comfort zone. I mean, how did you conceptualize that?
Actually, it was a real challenge that I wanted to put myself into. Like, when you compete in a Masters division in Comic Con Africa, you go against like the best of the best on the African continent. Like in the first year you had like King Patsu, second year was Jinx Kitty and all the others, and you really have to push the bar. I had to set my bar higher than I ever did before, and that's what I did for the Predator first. And for Spawn I was like, all right, I did the Predator, I really liked it and stuff, but I really need to level up. So I was like, which character do I really like, and which character do I really have the opportunity to bring with a lot of intricate things, like more details, more techniques, new materials and stuff. And so I bought a Spawn action figure my first time in Comic Con Africa from Project Mayhem. Really cool guys. And I was like, all right, I really love Spawn. I finally get my hand on a Spawn figure. Why not do a Spawn cosplay? Nice. That's how it started. That's how the idea started. And yes, it was completely out of my comfort zone. I had never done something similar to Spawn before. I mean, I did a previous Spawn, which was really simple, but the one that I did for Comic-Con, the really intricate ones with all the details and stuff, it was really out of my comfort zone. And even for the gun, the Gatling gun, it was such a challenge to do. But I really wanted to succeed in the competition, to at least match what I did the previous year. And so I was like, all right, you need to do that, Fred. Just go, try it, give it a try. I had like 6 to 7 months to prepare. Actually 6 months, because I had to take 1 month out of it because I moved in my new house, so there was a lot of things going on. And it was a big challenge, really hard to put together. A lot of trial and errors, but in the end it came out how it did. So
came out really, really well, to be honest.
Thank you.
Now this is actually more Kez's speed. So she's going to be asking more of the question when it comes to cosplays and things like that, because she knows the cosplays better than I'm a gamer, dude. I'm a gamer through and through, and that's what I do. So when it comes to games, we'll get back to the talkie, but. When Karen asks questions, she knows what she wants to actually ask. So, are there any from your side? Is there anything that you really want to ask?
No, please put me on the spot.
Oh yeah, no, that's my. I am good at actually taking her out of her comfort zone. She needs to get out.
What made you decide to do the? I don't know the characters' names that well. The Mortal Kombat ones that you the Mortal Kombat ones that you did, because you did both of them, and then you also made that fan fiction movie sort of kind of thing. What made you decide to do that?
So actually I've been a great fan of Mortal Kombat ever since I was a kid. Saw the movies, played the games and everything, and I always wanted to do a proper Scorpion cosplay, but like really one that where I put different versions of Scorpion together. So I get a new design, like a new look and stuff. And so it was last year, I think it was December. I had just finished with the new Thor, and I was like, all right, what cosplay next am I gonna undertake? And I had just bought a sewing machine because I'm new to sewing, and I was like, all right, let's do a Scorpion one and try to sew it. Okay, it was like launching myself another challenge, let's sew something. And by the end of December, when I really started it, I was like, I'm gonna have to clean up, make some space, find a table for a sewing machine, and it just hot glue everything. And so I started to work on the Scorpion. I started from scratch. I had a few ideas of what I wanted to do, but I just looked for a lot of references, put them together, and it's basically the main reason why I did it is because I'm a really big fan of a character. And there's no Scorpion without Sub-Zero, and I was like, there's a movie coming out next year, so this year, and I was like, what if I just try like a short movie, just a fight scene or something like that. And so I was like, okay, so there's no other Sub-Zero cosplayers here, and so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make the costume, and maybe find someone to put in it. So I got a friend who's gonna do it. And no, actually we've changed. It's not a friend now. It's another person who's gonna come to Mauritius, like another cosplayer who's gonna get into it later this year. And yeah, so basically it's it. I wanted to make Scorpion and then to make a short movie out of it because I really love a franchise. Big fan.
Okay. Yeah. No. How much of a fan of Scorpion are you? I mean, I'm more of a Sub-Zero person. I've always preferred Sub-Zero over Scorpion. Why Scorpion?
I love his backstory. I love the fact that he was Roshiwa Ryu. His clan was originally part of Linkway. They defected, made their own things, and then there was a beef between the two clans. And it depends on the version of the game that you take. Like at first, it's just Sub-Zero killing Scorpion because of a clash of rivalry. And then with the other games, it quite changed it and made it like another character, made it look like Sub-Zero killed Scorpion and his family and his clan, and started the whole war and stuff, and that's why he became Scorpion and stuff. And I really like the story. I like the look. Yeah. Not a big fan of yellow, but I really like the look. I like the spear. I remember when I was a kid, I watched the first movie and you had like spear thing coming out of his hand. It was really weird, but at the time I really dig it. And then I played the games. You know, I saw the movie first. I was really like a little kid. All right, I saw the movie first. Then I played the games. And yeah, for me it was just Scorpion from the start. But my second favorite is Sub-Zero.
Okay, so you do know that most Mortal Kombat fans are not big fans of the movie because it just doesn't work, and apparently it's a failure and stuff like that. It's really funny how they actually how they tie the two together. So you actually became a fan by watching the movies first and then playing the games. Must have been an odd transition to be able to go from I mean, like, watching the movies. Now, the first one I actually kind of liked. The second one was terrible. I couldn't stand it.
Oh, Annihilation was a disaster.
Yeah,
we don't talk about it. We don't talk about it.
No one talks about that one. So the first one was all right. I can't say that I was a huge fan of it, but it was all right. But it must have been a bit of a shock to the system when you actually played the game and you realized, wow, this game's actually very violent.
I think the movie came out in 1995, right? So I was 4 years old, but I didn't see it that year. I saw it like when I was 6 or 7. It was a little bit late, and yeah, I was a kid, so I just enjoyed it. A lot of fights, superpowers and stuff, like bad guys.
Every
ninja.
child's dream.
Yeah. So I really liked it, and the music was really catchy. Stuck in my mind for years after I saw it. And so when I replayed the game, I think it was on PS1. I started with Mortal Kombat Trilogy on PS1, and that's where I really came to know the lore behind each character and stuff. And yes, it was brutal. A lot of blood, a lot of guts flying. Like with the brutalities, you kill someone and you have 10 people worth of bones flying around.
Like, there's no way there's that many bones in a human body. That's
exactly.
impossible.
You can have more than one skull. There was 3 to 4 skulls all around the place. So it was, but yeah, it wasn't a shock actually. I knew it was a game, so I wasn't really the kind of kid who was scared by gore or stuff. You know, as long as I knew that it was fake, it was fine.
Yeah, and that was very fake.
Yeah, but I became a really big fan of it. Through the games. I really liked the movie, like I said, because I was a kid, didn't see the flaws. I watched it several years later, and even before watching the new one, saw it a month ago. And that's when you really see how cheesy it is. But for the time, it was cool.
What do you think of the new one?
Oh, personally, I liked it. It has its flaws. It's not perfect, but let's say for a prequel, I'm really interested to see what they're gonna do next and the directions they're gonna take. And I just hope they improve from it, because it's not perfect, but I really liked it. I enjoyed it.
That's wicked.
Yeah, I mean, some characters were depicted really well. Some were completely messed up. But overall, it's a positive one for me. I liked it.
No spoilers.
We haven't seen it yet.
Oh, good thing I didn't spoil anything.
Sorry, I have a very itchy nose. I've got sinus problems there. I've been a bit sick. Would you believe?
Oh,
I mean,
it's just sinus problems. It's nothing serious.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
you guys should see
C word.
No,
Sorry?
we definitely plan to. We're actually going on leave from this coming Tuesday, so and the goal is to try and watch as many movies as we can while we're on leave. So we'll just add it to our list and see if we can watch it.
Yeah, we're trying to.
You're gonna see it streaming or at the theaters?
Oh no, we'll stream it. We're busy acclimating the cats, so we have to be around the cats as often as possible, and they have to get comfortable with us or with the house and with us again.
Definitely,
it's a new world, new for them. It's a whole new world for them. They don't know what this.
Cue the Aladdin song.
Can't wait to see that.
Yeah, so we'll be watching. I mean, I'm not joking when I say we're going to be watching. Well, she's not joking when she says we're going to be watching a lot of things. I'm going to be watching the entire Band of Brothers series again. So I'm watching Band of Brothers from beginning to end. I don't know if she'll join me.
I will. We'll be watching Star Wars. We'll be watching.
Star Wars? We don't have Star Wars.
No, but we are going to watch them. We agreed that we'll watch them. I think they're on the hard drive.
Oh right, yeah.
But we're also going to be watching the old Pink Panther movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the old ones. You know, does your dog die? No. I thought you said your dog did not bad. That is not.
I don't really remember them. I think I saw one of them like years and years ago. I never saw it again.
I've never seen them, so this is a new experience for me.
Okay.
The first one we watched the first one. I hadn't ever seen the first one, so it was new to me. But I watched the first one. It's weird. It's not. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting. It's not a bad movie. It just wasn't exactly what I was expecting. Okay. I was expecting the focus to be on Clouseau and what he was doing throughout the movie, but obviously it wouldn't have been because it was brand new and all that. So back in the 60s, this was a brand new, never before seen movie, and they were trying to focus on different characters at different times. And it turned out that Clouseau was the most favored, and that's why the Pink Panther, or why Clouseau became a big part of the Pink Panther series. So, yeah, we're big fans. Well, I'm a big fan. I've been since I was a kid.
I'll add it to my list. Maybe I'll check it too.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good idea.
I saw it once, but it was years and years ago. I was like a little kid, so I don't remember anything from it. So it just once, so I don't remember.
Yeah, we'll also be doing the Lord of the Rings Hobbit series as well. Let's see if we can get through all of it.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
We're starting from the Hobbit and going all the way to the end.
I did that like a couple of weekends ago. Maybe it was a month ago. Started on a Friday night and ended on Saturday. All three of them.
It's long, eh?
Yeah.
Wait till you have to go through all 6.
Ooh,
go from the Hobbits, go all the way from the unexpected journey all the way down to the Return of the King. That's gonna be what we're gonna be doing.
Maybe because I'm doing a lot of movie marathons lately. I have this cosplayer, FredWolf Cosplay from France. French. She's coming to Mauritius this year, and we're gonna work together. She's gonna come to my place and stuff. You know, she's gonna stay here, and we've been starting to do like, we have this little ritual that we do every night. We just sit and watch a movie together. We just we do a video call, and we put a movie. You know. And that's when we did The Hobbit, and we did, this one was her pick, not mine. We did the whole Fast and Furious franchise.
I feel sorry for you.
I mean,
the first ones were not that bad, but towards the end they just got very, very, very sad.
Cheesy.
The spin-off looked like you were watching Matrix, you know? It was like Hobbs and Shaw with Statham and The Rock.
Yeah, no, I heard about that, but apparently it's become so cheesy now. It's like
it's time to end. It needs to finish now. No more Fast and Furious.
Exactly. In the beginning, it was actually guys who built cars and raced fast cars and drag raced and track raced and drifted.
And in the end, it ended up being like a Terminator thing with Matrix stuff in it.
Yeah.
Very
and then after Tokyo Drift, everything just went down. and it went down fast as well. It didn't take a short turn. It was like, nope, we're gonna just like, hard left.
Completely.
Yeah, that was.
Also became more about the story and less about the racing and.
There's no real racing in the last ones, actually.
No, it's quite sad because that's what it was about the racing and about the cars, not about the drama and all the other stuff that was happening in the background. That was just like a teeny tiny little part of it.
Indeed.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. No, it's it's very hard for me to find a good series of movies when it comes to movies themselves. So one that I did find, that I actually found it for Kez, was the Dark Knight series.
Yeah.
So I was walking around one of the second-hand DVD and video game stores that they have here. It's called CEX. So we were supposed to be walking around there, and I saw this Batman series, and I'm like, oh, it's all three. Let me actually get them because I know that Kez loves them. So
I love Christian Bale. He's a good Batman.
Yeah. I love Dark Knight trilogy too. Like it's honestly, it's my favorite DC movies up to now.
Yeah, exactly. And of
it's
course,
far better than the DCU and everything. Yeah, I just love it.
Yeah, exactly. But Kez had just come out of surgery as well, so I was trying to find something that we could watch on the weekend together, so that I could just sit with her while she was feeling, while she was recovering and getting better. And the Batman series popped on. I was like, no, I'm getting that. Sorry, I'm getting that. So, and then I'd like the older ones as well, though, because remember, I'm old, so I grew up with like the original Batman, the
Michael Keaton, George Clooney.
Yes. Michael Keaton's and the George Clooney's and all those guys. That's who I grew up with. Val Kilmer
me too.
A little bit, but not so much because I was really going into my teens. But I didn't like nipples in the Batsuit. I didn't see the need for that.
I think it was like the names of the movies was like Batman Returns, Batman and Robin, and then it was like Batman Forever, I guess.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Batman, then Batman Returns.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Batman
I've seen
Forever.
each of them around 5 or 6 times when I was a kid. I really love them.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Batman?
In terms of actors?
Yes.
Christian Bale.
There you go. Mine's actually Keaton, to be honest. I actually really enjoy Keaton's Batman. I thought that I think it was mainly because of Batman Returns and just the way the story was actually written. I thought it was really well done.
It was pretty dark. Yeah, it was a pretty dark one compared to the others that came out.
Yeah,
afterwards.
It was Burton.
The one with Kilmer and Clooney. Yeah. And I think that's the one with Catwoman and the Penguin. Right?
Yes, that was with Penguin and the Catwoman.
I loved it.
That was the Tim Burton was the one who actually directed it. And, I think he wrote the screenplay for it or something like that. But
that's why it was dark.
That was why it was so dark. It was actually one of my favorite Batmans, though. It was that one.
It was really good. It was really good.
So Keaton has always been like up there with my Batmans. I mean, I know people are gonna chastise me now. You like Keaton?
As long as you don't like Ben Affleck, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Affleck. You know what? He didn't do a bad job with the Batman character. But my problem with Ben Affleck as Batman, and my big problem with it was that he was Batman when he was Bruce Wayne, essentially. He didn't change his voice to become Batman, because it wasn't just about it wasn't just iconic. About exactly. It wasn't just about Bruce Wayne being Bruce Wayne and Batman being Batman. Or they could be interchanged, like for example, I'm sure you saw when Ben Affleck actually acted as Batman, he was talking with the same voice as he did when he was Bruce Wayne.
Indeed.
It's like Bruce Wayne was an eccentric millionaire. You're supposed to act like the eccentric millionaire. I mean...
Yeah, there wasn't that mystery part, really dark when he's just creeping around and everything. That was missing. That was really missing. He looked good. He looked good. The suit was amazing.
He played Batman very well. I just think that he didn't change between Batman and Bruce Wayne very well. I don't think that he played the Bruce Wayne character very well. Batman, he played fine. He was not bad at Batman, but he was not a good Bruce Wayne. He was not a good Bruce Wayne. I've seen better.
What do you think? What's his name? The guy from Twilight. What do you think he's gonna be like as Batman?
I'm not looking
Because that's still coming out this year
I'm
as
not
well.
looking forward to that one.
I think if you see it from a Twilight perspective, like if you've known him only for Twilight, it's not promising at all. It's gonna be that shiny Bruce Wayne.
Sparky Bruce Wayne.
But you know, if you watch his other movies, like I think he played with I forgot the name of the other actor. I mean, Willem Dafoe. It was, what was the movie called? Lighthouse. Really dark one in black and white. It came out like 2 years ago and stuff, and he was really good in it. Like the guy, he can really act. Actually, he's not just like that glossy vampire, you know. he has some skills, and based on that, I think he can portray Batman pretty well. But not maybe the Batman we know from the comics. You know, maybe a new version, maybe like a mixture of different versions, a younger Batman. That's what he is, a younger Batman.
You see, where my issue comes from is you look at the Joker, for example. There's a good example. I haven't seen the Joker, but I've heard very good things about the Joker.
Oh, the one with Joaquin Phoenix, yeah.
Yes, and I've heard that Joaquin Phoenix played that part unbelievably. He really pulled off the Joker so well.
Really?
Really? He played psychotic really well.
Yes. Actually, it's the kind of movie where you can side with him. You understand why he became the Joker, you know?
Yeah.
I remember seeing it. It was in SA actually. Last time when it came to Comic-Con, the movie came out, so we went to the theater with a friend, and it was amazing. Absolutely loved it. The whole theater just clapped after the movie. You know, it was so great. And yeah, the way he portrayed the Joker was just perfect.
Yeah.
I know everybody says that Heath Ledger was the best Joker. He was the best Joker of his version of a Joker.
Yes.
The one that Joaquin Phoenix did is another completely different version, different take.
Yeah.
But it was a really good one. Really, really good one. I absolutely love the movie.
Yeah, that's important for any character when it comes to the essentially what the character's personality is going to be like. You're going to have actors that are going to play characters differently, but it's how they make that version of their character and how they portray that version of the character that makes them, you know, unique and good or bad accordingly. You know,
totally. I mean, that's what Heath Ledger did. He did a really huge amount of work on himself to get into that character, and that's why it really paid off on screen. You know, he was really into that character. He just shined. It was
a little too much.
I mean, you look at
with all the depression and everything that came after that, and no,
it was quite bad that he picked up that much depression afterwards. But you know, rest in peace, man. He was a good actor. I mean, not just for the Joker, but I mean, there's A Knight's Tale. He was freaking brilliant in that. I mean, dude, I'm not a chick flick kind of person. I don't like chick flicks, but I actually enjoyed 10 Things I Hate About You.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
He's in it as
it's
well.
It's actually quite good. He's in it as well, yeah. And it's actually quite good. But I mean, like I said, I am not a fan of chick flicks, but that was not a bad movie. It was actually quite good.
All right.
You know, you gotta you know, just take each movie. You're gonna have movies that they're terrible in. But the thing is, it's not because they're terrible. It's because the script is terrible, and they can only do so much with a crappy script.
That's true. I agree.
You know? So yeah, you know, but then that's just my feeling when it comes to actors and characters, and when you do your swap outs of characters or actors, sorry, like Spider-Man. I like Tobey Maguire. I thought he was a good version of Spider-Man, because he was the ultimate Spider-Man, I think. He was the Spider-Man that actually had the webs grow out of him.
Yeah.
So he was a one version of the Spider-Man. It wasn't the I mean, that's what most people don't understand. There are so many versions of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
you got the Amazing Spider-Man.
There's a multiverse in Marvel's, yeah.
So you got the Amazing Spider-Man. I think that I can't remember the actor that played that.
Andrew Garfield.
Yes, Andrew Garfield.
He's my favorite Spider-Man.
He was a good Batman.
He was really good.
Batman.
He's
Spider-Man.
not Batman. He's Spider-Man.
He was a good Spider-Man. I enjoyed him as Spider-Man as well. The only one I don't really like is this latest one.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland. I don't know if it's Tom Holland or if it's the character, but one of the two just rubs me up the wrong way. It rubs me up this way. Yeah, and I don't like it.
For me, as long as he's in the suit, it's pretty much okay. I like him.
So you don't like his
out
face?
Out of a suit, he's just his geeky kid, which actually Peter Parker is in real life. But he's not that cheesy.
Yeah, no, he's not that cheesy. I mean, he's got
in the comics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Parker is not that geeky or that nerdy in the comics. He's a nerd. I mean, he's an extremely intelligent.
Indeed, but not that much.
Character, but he's not so much of a nerd that he's actually incapable of actually speaking to people. He does know how to talk. He works for the Daily Bugle.
Daily Bugle. Yeah.
He would have to know how to talk to people because he takes photos of them all the time.
Indeed.
And he can't be as recluse as they make him, and that's what I don't like about this new one. Is he's very recluse, whereas Tobey Maguire or the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, both of those two were actually they were there. I mean, you had him, Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker. He was a little bit shy in the beginning, but as soon as he actually started coming out of his shell, you actually saw him grow. The only Spider-Man I didn't really like was the third one. I think that the third one with Tobey Maguire, I think that they really did a bad job with that one.
They overdid it. Yeah, the one with the Sandman, Venom, and the new Joker.
Yeah, all three together at
It was
once.
too many.
It was too much.
It was too crumbled. Like too many supervillains and too much of a story. Too many things in just one movie, actually.
Yes, exactly. It was way too much to actually throw into one movie. It was like you had Sandman, like you said, Sandman, Venom. There was Rhino in there. I mean, what the hell?
Are you sure?
No, I think Rhino was in the last. The one with Andrew Garfield, actually, the second one.
Yeah, he was in Andrew Garfield.
Oh yes, but there was also, they seem to like doing that. That's what I don't like about the guys who are working on Spider-Man. They force so much into one movie. They did the same thing with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in the second one. They crammed way too much into it. They could have spread it out. They didn't have to cram all of the characters in immediately. That's true. It makes for horrible screenwriting, in my opinion. I mean, look, I'm not a movie critic. I'm terrible at criticizing movies. I don't give scores to movies because I don't like scoring movies. Sorry.
When are we going to see you in movies? Yeah. Since you make those little teeny tiny movies, when are we going to see you in bigger, longer, more, better movies?
Bigger, longer, uncut.
Actually, I can't really answer that. I don't know, but I have a plan. I have a lot of plans. Like I said, there's this cosplayer from France who's moving here to Mauritius, and together she's a big fan of making movies. She studied that. She has a degree in the history of movie and things like that. And together we are really gonna put a lot of short movies out. And we're even thinking of bringing that to film festivals, to the short film contests that they have,
Wow.
And maybe this can bring us somewhere in the future. I don't know, but we're crossing fingers on it.
Nice. That's really quite awesome.
Yeah. It's funny, she should have been here already since the start of the year, but with the whole COVID thing, it has been postponed to the end of this year, actually.
Yeah. Is she the one that... Sorry, is she the one that you're doing the Witcher stuff with?
Yes, it's her. It's her.
So what, are you playing Geralt?
Cosplays. Sorry?
Are you playing Geralt?
Playing Geralt?
Geralt of Rivia.
Oh, Geralt! Yeah.
He hasn't seen your Geralt.
I haven't seen your Geralt yet.
I have only one picture out so far.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
So I need to complete the cosplay. Actually, I only have a top. I don't have braces. I don't have pants. I don't have anything that goes below the waist. I only have the armor, and even the wig. It's not the proper wig. I have to get a new one. But yeah, I'm doing him, and we have a short movie planned with Geralt and Ciri, or Geralt and Yennefer. We haven't decided yet. So yeah.
Nice.
That's on the list.
It's going to be interesting. You know what you should do? You should do a short movie of Ciri and Geralt going through one of her portals into Cyberpunk. Because remember they did that in the game.
She mentions it in the game.
If you remember, have you played The Witcher 3?
A long time ago. I haven't finished it back then, but yes, I did.
Okay, well she does mention when she goes through all the portals, because she knows that she can walk from plane of existences, so she can travel from parallel universe to parallel universe, and one of them happens to be the Cyberpunk 2077 one. They hinted at it. CD Projekt Red were very clever. They actually hinted at it, because she's like, yeah, they don't ride horses, they ride metal carriages and blah blah blah. There's like this whole thing that she talks about, and the swords come out of their arms and things like that. I was like, oh my god, they're referencing Cyberpunk.
I mean, Cyberpunk has been in development for years and years, so I think they already knew they were gonna do that crossover, which is really funny actually, because again, Laya Wolf, the girl who's gonna do Ciri and Yennefer, she's actually planning to do a crossover right now. I think she saw a few fan arts online, and she's gonna do the cosplay, like the Cyberpunk version of Ciri and Yennefer.
That would be freaking awesome to see. That would actually be freaking awesome to see.
Indeed.
I would love to see. To be honest, I'd like to see you do one as well. Though you must do a Geralt. You must do a Cyberpunk version of Geralt.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
do it.
I think you must.
All right.
I think you must.
Sold.
For anyone watching or listening,
you heard it here first.
You heard it here first. He's going to do a Cyberpunk Geralt.
Yes.
No backsies. This is live on YouTube forever.
Yes.
Well, not live, but it's stuck on YouTube and Anchor forever. No backsies.
Yes, that means you're gonna have to send us pictures as well, so that we can post them on the SA Geeks channel. And then if it's good enough. If it's good enough, what you have to do is enter it into a cosplay comp, dude.
What do you mean, if it's good enough? Of course it will be good enough. This is Fred we're talking about.
Not that kind of good enough. Not that kind of good enough. What I mean by that,
I think for cosplay contest, we will expect something a little bit bigger with a lot of intricate details and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So do a Cyberpunk Geralt. I'm sure you find
I'm gonna do it anyway. Because, like I said, if Laya Wolf is doing the Ciri and Yen version of it, definitely, if we're gonna do a Joe, I have to do Geralt. So yeah, I'm gonna make it.
It would work. It would actually work as well.
But
also, I mean, imagine you'd sell so much. You could actually get a 3D printer and then start printing those particular
little mini versions of you.
Actually, I have a 3D printer. I got one. I mean, remember last year when we talked, I didn't have one.
Oh yeah.
But it was in the middle of a lockdown. So after lockdown, we were working on a big project. For a big company here, so we were able to get the finances necessary to invest into a 3D printer. So now we have one.
Nice.
I got one in my studio, in the next room, and it's really fun. It's really fun.
Yeah, we think you're getting one too.
With intricate details and stuff. But when it comes to cosplay making, though, I love to stick with foam. You know, the crafting is my passion.
But that's the whole thing.
For the small details, for things that you really need to do, that you can't make with foam, like for example, mechanisms, you know, joints and stuff. So that's what I print actually.
No, that makes sense. But I mean, you know, you can't really, in my opinion, you can't really design a good cosplay if you're not using foam, because the foam actually allows you to like essentially chisel into it to create the finer pieces, and it also allows you to paint on it more comfortably, and obviously it's more wearable because it's not as heavy. You don't want something heavy on you the whole time, now do you?
Yeah. I mean, when you print, you get to choose the settings, so you can fill it completely, or you can make it hollow. So it really depends. But if I need to choose between wearing an armor made of foam and an armor made of, just 3D printed armor, I will pick foam, obviously.
Yeah. No, of course, and it makes perfect sense. You know, it's just how it goes. If you don't, and the thing is, not many people. If the people just look behind you, I'm sure that they wouldn't realize that a lot of that's made out of foam.
All of them, actually. All of them.
Yeah. There you go. You know, so all the fans out there, you know, the guys who want to get into cosplay and things like that, you know, it's if you want to get into it, remember there's thousands of mediums in which you can actually choose to actually make cosplay. And I'm sure Fred would actually be able to tell you exactly which ones you are good.
Anytime.
How did you get into your photo editing and all of that? Because the Craven photo and all of the other photos that you've been editing recently have been absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
I'd love to know how you got into it and what your skills and experience and the secrets are behind making such awesome things.
So it all began in 2012, and I started my studies at the university. So I started with a certificate, then a diploma and a degree in graphic design, advertising, and digital art. So that's where I really started with Photoshop. But at the university, you just learn the basics, and then you have to learn on your own. So I kept practicing years and years after that. But it's not like I developed the skills recently. I had them, but I wasn't really able to put them into cosplay use because I was working for a digital agency where I'm on Photoshop like all day long. When I get back home, I'm so tired of it. I can't bear staring at the screen anymore. So I wasn't really into making Photoshop editings for my own. But once I quit last year in December, that's where I really had the opportunity to take time myself to practice more, develop my skills and really put that into the cosplay perspective because I really love it. I don't like to modify costumes. Bear in mind, I don't like to modify costumes through Photoshop. I like to put my cosplays into the proper universe, like with a background, lights and stuff. So I started at the university, and then it was just practice at work with the things I was doing, and a lot of practice at home, trial and errors. Yeah, Photoshop is there's two ways of doing Photoshop. So either you learn the step by step, you watch videos and then you just follow it, or you try to bend the rules. You try to combine the tools, combine different ways of doing stuff, and develop your own way of editing. And that's what I do actually, and that's why I love doing it, because you get to create a lot of things. You get to bring your own ideas and your own ways of doing stuff.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So, with regards to the design, though, I mean, what is the average length of time it would take to create a decent cosplay? Something that you'd want to actually enter into a competition, essentially.
Ooh, it really depends. My Oni Predator right there took 2 months and a half because I was in a rush. And I was working full time, bear in mind. For all my two biggest cosplays, for all my cosplays, I was working, or either at the university. It's only Scorpion that I started after I quit my job. So basically, I would say it really depends on the cosplay you're doing. So a cosplay can take a week to make, while others can take months to make. My Oni Predator took 2 months. Yeah, 2 months and a half, or maybe 2 months. Because I was working, so I was working on it only at night during weekdays and during the weekends. Spawn took me about 6 months, like I said, because it was a lot of trial and error. Tons of trial and error, actually. First gun I made was a complete failure, so I had to just throw it away and start again. And yeah, it really depends on the cosplay. So it varies. I would say between a week, or maybe even a few days. It depends on the character. There's a lot of characters that you can do with things that you have in your wardrobe, like closet cosplays, like they say it. But when you're really gonna make a huge armor, a huge monster, or whatever, a robot, or whatever you want to make, it takes a lot, because it's not only making it, you have to go through the process of doing research. If you don't want to hit a wall and, just crash, oh my god, I can't move forward, I have to start from scratch again. So you have to do a lot of work, a lot of research, which takes time sometimes. You have to research the materials you're gonna use, the techniques you're gonna use, and if you don't know those techniques, you have to practice first, and then you just launch yourself in the cosplay. So it really depends on all those factors.
So for those of you who want to do this, just remember it does take time, and if you fail the first time, don't worry about it. There's always next time.
Have you ever...
Sorry?
No, carry on.
I was saying I've failed a lot of times. So yeah. It's not a shame to start over again.
Of course.
With the failing and stuff, have you ever come to the point where you just go, that's it, I want to give up, I want to stop doing this, I'm done? Or do you just find a way to push through?
There were times when I'm like, I'm done for the day. I never just give up on the cosplay entirely. Sometimes I'm just like, all right, it's not gonna work. All right, just put everything aside, do something else, and then I come back the second day when I'm rested and everything, and I'm like, all right, let's see how I can approach it differently, and see how it can be made. Because in cosplay, there's several ways of making your stuff, your props and your costumes. So if you hit a roadblock, you can always find another way of doing it, or just ask someone who has done it before for advice. You know, some cosplayers unfortunately don't like to give their tips and advice. Some do, and I'm among those who do. I love to help, so yeah, always
sounds
open
like freaking music industry.
Speaking of, have you been dabbling in the music industry recently?
Oh, I've been doing a lot of covers at home, trying videos and stuff. Now that I have more time on my hands, I've been planning to do a lot of covers, again with the same lady, FredWolf Cosplay. She sings freaking amazingly. She has such a beautiful voice, and we have a lot of covers planned for a lot of songs. You know, she's like me, she's into rock and metal, so we're just waiting for her to come. So then we're gonna put up a lot of videos. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, for those of you who didn't know, he doesn't just do cosplay, he does photo editing, he does play games, and he sings, and he plays musical instruments as well.
Guitar.
He's like,
and
what do they call them? The triple threat or whatever? You're like the quadruple threat.
Oh, you mean music?
When you can do like a whole bunch of different things.
That's jack of all trades.
Yeah, jack of all trades, I guess.
I like to say it's jack of all. For me, I'm a jack of all trades, master of none.
I'm master of none too. Huh? I'm not on the level of those who compose high symphonies and stuff. You know, I'm just a guitar player.
Yeah, it depends on mastery though. That's the whole thing, because each person has their own version of what mastery is. You know, mastery could just be mastering cover songs, you know, and learning how to play cover songs and only cover songs. You know, that's a form of mastery. Writing your own music is a form of the art of mastery. You know, it just
Indeed.
It depends on the I suppose you can call it the context. You know, what people would be looking at as a field to dabble in. You know, being a musician myself for a while that I was. Yeah. You know, not a great one. I'm not going to say that I'm a good musician at all. It's just I
don't consider myself as a good one either. You know?
No, I know I'm not a good musician. It's just I did it for a while when I was younger, and I still play guitar every now and then. You know, it's still fun. I play Rocksmith basically. There's my guitar playing. It's playing Rocksmith.
It's a good way to learn. When I actually get back into it, it's a good program to use to learn how to play the guitar, because they teach you all the different things, and you don't need to go and pay a really fancy teacher. You can just play a game.
The only unfortunate thing is teachers can't teach you everything, or the game can't teach you everything. It's got some good techniques that it can show you and things like that, and you can learn quite a lot from it. So you can learn how to play decent leads and things like it. You can learn how to play decent rhythm, but it doesn't teach you about things like holding there are two different kinds of G chord that play exactly the same note, but are held differently. You know, but it's exactly the same note. You know, it's literally just one with 4 fingers like that, and then one with 3 fingers like that. I prefer playing with 4 fingers. That was always my go-to when it came to playing a G chord. It's never really been exactly. I can't play with 3. It doesn't feel right to me.
I started with a three fingers technique, then I moved to the fourth one, and I really loved it.
Old lady.
Yeah.
Old lady. Yeah, but the whole thing is the reason why that particular chord, or the reason why I bring that particular chord up is because there's also a reason they don't tell you that the certain chords need guide fingers. They don't tell you about guide fingers and what a guide finger actually is. So, for those of you who don't know how to play guitar, here's a little bit of advice. If you've been playing Rocksmith and only Rocksmith, I can tell you one thing. Guide fingers are very important. When you hold a G chord, for example, this finger here, your ring finger, is actually a guide finger for you to go from G to D. Simple as that.
Indeed.
No one really knows that, but that's how you work it. Then, when you want to go from D to C, your finger your pointing finger just slides across one upper string, and you're on a C. So it's simple things like that you can never get taught by a program.
It sound so easy.
But you can be taught that if you have someone tutoring you in that. So I would say don't completely throw teachers out the window. They are actually very good. There are some very good teachers out there. But if you can't afford one and you prefer to use Rocksmith and things like that, then go for it. Rocksmith is a good learning tool in the beginning.
It's a good start.
Yes, but you always need coaches. My opinion, you always need coaches.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Even when I started because my brothers and my cousins were playing guitar, and so I was like, why not? It sounds cool. So let's start to. I had a friend who was really, really good in it. So I used to meet him and bring a huge sketch pad on which I drew all the frets and the strings, all 6 strings and frets, like with a couple of them on the sketchpad page. And he was just giving me the notes, like G, you need to put your finger here, 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 and I was like putting points on the little dots on the strings, and that's how I started actually.
Yeah, that's tabular writing. What you're doing there is called tabular writing. That's when you write, instead of writing music like you write notes, you write it in tab or in tab format, where you actually put 1, 2, 3, and 4 down as your fingers.
Indeed.
Sometimes 5. Sometimes even 5, because you can actually flip your thumb over the neck like that and hold it the whole screen.
Yeah,
it's not wise to. It's actually very uncomfortable if you're holding certain chords, but you can bring some really cool chords out if you hold it like that.
I like to do it when we're doing the, when you move you can do all the chords by the neck, but when you're sliding and you're doing the notes, I don't know how it's called in English. In French, we just call it like barré, like it's board. You just put one finger
barcode,
when you.
Barcode. It's a barcode.
Barcode. All right. So I like to do it like that. When sometimes I just use the finger, the thumb, and the index, and then I use the other fingers to just slide around.
That is a weird technique, but geez, that must work really well. It's a strange technique, but it must work really well. Because I normally just use barcodes.
I do it because when I was playing live on the electric guitar, I like to have my guitar really low.
Okay.
One of those guitarists. The index to. It's hard to use the index to put on the all 6 chords, so I got used to it.
Yeah, you're one of the guitarists that have unusually long arms, so you have the guitar all the way down the bottom.
My friends were always like, "Why? How is your guitar like? How do you play like that?" Well, even they're more advanced than me with guitar. They have studied it and everything. Yeah. But every time we were just switching guitars, I was like, "Oh, that thing is so high." And they were like, "Dude, how can you play?"
Now I normally play with it just like center mass. So essentially, it's just sitting at my stomach. It's the best place for me. Because I don't like too high, I don't like too low. I played in a band once where the bassist played with a guitar like really low. I don't know how the hell he held that guitar, because he used to play pretty complicated bass notes he used to play the bass like he would play leads, and it would be like he would play at high speed, but he'd be all the way down at the bottom. I wondered how he could hold the guitar, because I'd be slouching to hold the guitar like that. He didn't.
Yeah, but you are short.
Yes, I am short, so it doesn't really help.
The only times when I would maybe I'll lift my guitar a little bit was when I had to do solos, because it's really hard. When it's down, it's really hard to do solos.
It's always easier to play like this than it is to play like that.
Yeah. But when doing riffs and stuff, when doing just riffs, my guitar was always low.
Well, it's like playing what's it, Metallica? That everyone plays Metallica. That one Metallica song.
Nothing
else matters.
Yeah.
I actually have to also bend the guitar up a bit because I can't get the classical, because I actually can play classical guitar as well. So I like to dabble in doing this with my fingers. These short little stubby things that you can call fingers, but they work, you know. But I remember one thing. This is something that I need to tell all the fans out there. Don't ever let anyone tell you that your fingers are too short to play guitar.
True.
Please, don't ever let anyone tell you that. Look at this. Look at how short these fingers are. If I can play guitar, you can play guitar. There. Truth. And I'm learning piano too.
I agree.
But yeah, so that's enough of me annoying people with my music talk.
Do you have anything exciting planned, cosplay-wise, work-wise, life-wise?
That's something I started last year. I started doing workshop sessions, for people to learn. And then there was the whole COVID situation, and I haven't done another one. So I'm planning a lot of them this year, hopefully. And like I said, there's this lady coming, so she's joining the company and everything. And we're gonna start doing a lot of new workshop sessions. She's a lot into makeup as well, SFX makeup, latex, silicone, and stuff like that. So we got this. We
have our own little movie company down in Mauritius.
Sorry?
You're gonna have your own little movie company down in Mauritius.
Yeah,
make Mauritius into the new Hollywood.
We have our movie plans, so short movies to begin with, but maybe, who knows, if it grows up, if it grows to something like really big, I wouldn't say no. Why not? I'm always here to try new things, as long as they are things that I like, things that fall into what I do, like cosplay and short movies. Just come and go. It's the same thing. I mean, you can intertwine. So that's really cool. Yeah. And personally, I'm planning to do a garden on my rooftop. And
nice.
Yeah. I really want a huge garden, because she's coming with her dog, which is a Cane Corso, big breed, huge dog. And I already have 5 dogs at my place, 4 downstairs, 1 who lives inside with me, upstairs my old one, and there's gonna be her dog as well. So I want more space for them. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do a garden. We're gonna do. I have my rooftop is quite like a rectangle. It's rectangular. So three quarter of it is gonna be the garden, and 1 quarter is gonna be a new workshop, because we're gonna be working together. So it's gonna be a new workshop. I have only 1 room for the workshop now. It's like 3.5 meter by 3.5 meter. So we're definitely gonna need a larger one.
Yeah.
So that's the big plans. And following that, that's gonna also be used for the workshop sessions and stuff. So we are also gonna be able to work on bigger cosplays. So we don't really have huge plans ahead. We have a lot of small ones.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll become big towards. So that's how it's gonna go.
You don't need huge plans to become big or anything. Small plans are generally the greatest plans, because they take less time, and even then those small plans might turn into something big anyway.
But actually, that's how it started for me as a cosplayer. I started just as a fan, doing small cosplays and stuff. There was at start there was no plans of doing a business out of it. Even less here in Mauritius, because people didn't know what it was, cosplay, back then. It started 8 years ago, 2013. So yeah, people didn't know what it was. There was only a few people. We had that little convention, really small one. So it was just like a closed community, but 99% of Mauritius didn't know what cosplay was. Yeah. So for me, it was just doing something like a new hobby, And with years and years, it kept growing, and now here we are. I have my own cosplay business, went to SF on competition and stuff, and it just grew out of the blue.
That's never a bad thing, though. It really isn't. Okay, so that's I think that's about it. We normally only do these for an hour, so you don't have to sit there and like staring at the screen the whole time. When is this gonna end? When is this gonna end?
Also, because it's quite late there for you now.
Yeah, it's quite late there now. So
let me check. It's I don't know. It's almost 9 p.m. It's fine.
It's almost 9 p.m. Yeah, it's only 6 o'clock here.
Oh.
So for us, it's early. Okay, so what we're gonna do for you is we're gonna need you to plug every bit of your channel. So all the stuff that you do, your all the places where people can find you.
And your business.
And your business. Tell us.
All right. So, first of all, you can find me on Instagram at FredWolf Cosplay, and there's also Our Wolf Cosplay, who is on Instagram right now, and we haven't really put a lot of stuff on it yet, but it's kind of gonna grow in the coming months. You can find me on Facebook at FredWolf Cosplay again, but I'm mostly active on Facebook on my personal account, Frederic Lamarck. You can find me there. If you have any questions about cosplay or anything else, music or anything. And if you want to learn more about the famous lady I was talking about, you can also check her on Instagram at FredWolf Cosplay. And that's it. For now, that's it. In the future, there's gonna be YouTube and stuff, but for now, that's it.
There you go. Well, and you'll hear that when he obviously announces that. So when you follow him on those channels, he'll let you know when the YouTube channel is going to start up.
Very exciting.
Very exciting times. Very exciting indeed.
Indeed.
Okay, my angel, it's your turn.
Okay, so the podcast is obviously available on YouTube for video purposes, and on Anchor you can listen to all the audio platforms such as Spotify, Google Podcast, and so on, but the link is on Anchor. And then us as the SA Geeks, we are on Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and BitChute. TikTok will be more active when our cats come, because why not make it about the kitties?
Yes, so it'll be the cats of SA Geeks on TikTok.
Oh, speaking of TikTok, I might be getting on TikTok soon.
Oh, there you go.
I've been quite reluctant to get on it for years and years.
I've been reluctant to.
But I was speaking with a friend of mine, and she made me realize that the audience for cosplay now, who is on Instagram, the growing, like the new people who are coming into it, they're more on TikTok on Instagram. TikTok, so in the future, it's obviously gonna be the audience for cosplay. So that's why I'm moving.
Then there you go. You'll also find him on TikTok.
We've seen quite a few cosplayers that put their stuff up on TikTok and stuff. So it is definitely the way of cosplayers to go on TikTok. So now you have no choice.
Yeah, now you kind of screwed yourself here, Ray. Now you have to
go. So I'm gonna get on it, and it's gonna be the same. So FredWolf Cosplay again.
Yeah, there you go. So it'll be easy for you guys to find him. But
yeah,
so guys,
same name, every platform.
Exactly. So if you guys enjoyed the show today, you can hit the like button right down there. You can hit the subscribe button right down there. I think depends on where Josh decides to put them. But they'll be here somewhere. The like button,
all right,
all that stuff, and the bell notification if you guys want to be notified of when, where, and if any videos come up. That's if it actually happens. If you also like Mr. Wolf over here, you can also subscribe to him. I'm sure he's got lots of stuff he can tell you. But yes, guys, thank you for joining. And as always, remember,
keep it.
Give it.